Update. I, 27 female, am falling for my sister's 26 female ex 26 male. Would it be unreasonable to date him? Original post. So I'm in a pretty complicated situation. My sister Amy was dating Paul for 2.5 years, from when she was 22 to 24. I wasn't too close with him, but we got along. Well, unfortunately, he cheated with her best friend, and this hurt my sister a lot. I was angry and hurt that he would do that to my sister. My sister became depressed and still has trust issues to the point she's scared to date. Recently, I went on a cruise with my friend and her boyfriend, third wheeling. He saw me on the bar at the pool. He said hi, and I was very cold to him. I told him about himself, and to my surprise, he accepted accountability. He told me the guilt he feels to this day, and he's matured over the years. I decided to let bygones be bygones, and him and I started hanging out as we were both third-wheeling. We did excursions, shopping, etc. I didn't realize how strong our chemistry was. One night, we both had a drunken mishap and hooked up. After that, the cat was out the bag and we hooked up a couple times. When I got back, him and I had been texting, and we are considering taking things more serious. I haven't talked to my sister about it, but I can tell she's changed and a better person. Plus, it's been a couple years. Now for the top comments before reading the update. This is a disaster just waiting to happen. OP just destroyed her relationship with her sister for the sister's scumbag ex-boyfriend. Hope the sex was worth it. My sister is my world. If she did this to me, I would cut her out of my life completely. Do you have no respect for her? The pain she went through. You want to throw that all away for some guy that is a renowned cheater? Wow. I hate my sister, and still I would never do something so horrific. Right, but he's changed, she said. Well, if he's changed, why is he trying to get with his ex's sister? This half is selfish. Wait until her sister finds out. And then this broad won't understand what she did wrong. Wow, just wow. She fell right into this guy's hands and doesn't even realize it. Please update us when he cheats on you and your sister goes no contact on you. Now for the update. I decided to give him a chance. Well, he's still a disgusting cheater. A few weeks ago, I decided to tell my sister what happened and what we were planning. She didn't take it well at all and has blocked me and said I'm dead to her. That broke my heart, but I was optimistic that as she continued to heal from the breakup and find someone new, she would get over it. Perhaps even learn to be happy for me. When I was over his place last night, I noticed a bonnet. It was not mine, and I don't wear bonnets usually. That raised my suspicion. I didn't say anything and waited for him to fall asleep. I used the Face ID to unlock it when he was sleeping. I went through his phone, and it was bad. I woke him up and told him he's a disgusting person. I've never felt so alone. I haven't even told my sister yet, but I want her to know that I fell for his lies and that I'm sorry. I'm guessing you're feeling pretty dumb for defending him so hard in your last post and for throwing your relationship with your sister into the garburator. Yeah, the only thing I can do now is take full responsibility for my actions and pony up an apology. It's sad, because what he did is exactly why people are afraid to give others second chances. Right, that's perfect. You weren't betraying your little sister. You were being a good person and giving the ex who cheated on her with her best friend a second chance behind her back. You just started talking to him and then hanging out with him and then banging him and then dating him behind her back by mistake. Whoopsies. How could you have possibly known this would hurt her feelings or that he would be cheating on you next? The important thing for her right now is that you need her to accept your apology and start feeling sad for you, even though she doesn't want to talk to you. Her wishes are, as you have already established, less important than yours. Now that you're a victim too, same as her, and because you were just being a good person behind her back by mistake anyway, she can go ahead and get over it. What responsibility do you feel like you're taking? Try some therapy before you try apologizing. I hope you understand that you don't love your sister, and she would probably be better off without you in her life. Perfectly said. I cannot for the life of me understand the 181 people who upvoted that ridiculous attempt to paint herself, not only as the victim, but as a saintly one at that. Oh, look at a sister of mercy over here, sacrificing herself on the altar of second chances. Get the heck out of here, Opie. You are not the victim. I hope your sister cuts you out of her life before you find any new fresh hells to throw at her, because you just feel such a strong connection. Gross. You're gross. Edit, it's now 315 people. Jesus Christ, Reddit. As many posts like this one are on here, the upvotes are probably those who slept with her siblings/cousins/daughter's boyfriend, if I had to guess. You were not sorry when you went after the person who betrayed her. You did not even consider your sister's feelings, even after everyone here told you how crappy it was to pursue her ex. You were not sorry after you told her and broke her heart again. I cannot imagine how she felt knowing her own sister could do this to her, but instead thought she would get over it and learn to be happy for you. You're not sorry you hurt her. You are lamenting because you got hurt. Leave your sister alone. She doesn't deserve such a treacherous person in her life. You, on the other hand, more than deserve feeling alone. Next story. Update. Am I the a-hole for yelling at my sister-in-law at my wedding and telling her no one cares that she is pregnant? Original post. My husband, 30 male, and I, 26 female, got married during COVID. We couldn't have a big ceremony because of restrictions, and unfortunately my family couldn't be present as they live in a different country. With restrictions finally lifted, we decided to have a more traditional ceremony in my home country with my family. My husband's family came, his parents, some friends, cousins, and his sister, 32 female, we'll call Sarah, and her husband, 28 male, we'll call him Matt. Sarah and Matt live on the other side of the US than the rest of the family. They had their wedding a couple of months back in their home state, and ever since then when we have a conversation, even without our wedding coming up, Sarah would say that she and Matt are planning to get pregnant on the trip for my husband and I's wedding. No big deal. I just made sure to tell her that she needs to ovulate for that to happen, but other than that, I could not care less. What started to get annoying is when we were talking about all the activities/excursions people wanted to do, so could go ahead and book it. Sarah would always say, make sure there's enough time for Matt and I at the hotel so we can get busy making our baby. Again, kind of gross. A little annoying, but whatever. They're grown-ups. About a week before we all leave to go to my home country, Sarah and Matt arrive in our home state to spend some time with family, as they rarely see them. My husband and I, his parents, and my husband's brother and sister-in-law are sitting chatting when Sarah blurts out she's pregnant. We all get really excited, congratulate them, and saying how happy we are. We start asking some questions, and Sarah says she's 2 weeks pregnant. Everyone kind of loses a little bit of excitement and say, wow, that's really early. We suggest to wait before telling other people, just as a lot can happen. People usually don't even know they are pregnant until at least 6 weeks, and even then, they are encouraged to wait until after the first trimester to tell people. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law were very happy and excited for them, but cautioned them even more as they have experienced multiple miscarriages before having their first child. Matt replied by saying they're only telling the people closest to them, like his parents, her parents and her siblings. No one else, since it is so early. Well, the next day, Sarah had called her great-uncle and his wife over for drinks and decided to tell them too. Called her one aunt and uncle and told them, and by the end of the day, basically the entire extended family knew. As well as some of her mom's friends, which stopped by the house and Sarah told. With each person Sarah told, Matt got more agitated, as they had agreed to only tell a select few people. Matt finally gave up and asked her why she doesn't just post it on Facebook as it will be quicker, to which she replied she wants to, but she thinks it will be frowned upon. My husband came to me and said it feels like she is trying to draw the attention away from us at our wedding, as she is known to do anything and everything to have the spotlight on her. I said to not worry about it, as when we are in my home country, she isn't going to know many people, so she won't say anything. He agreed, but went to his parents and told them what he was feeling, and asked if they could politely suggest that she keep it to herself when we left for the trip. They agreed that it was valid for him to feel that way, as they know she hates it if the focus is not on her. Anyway, we leave for the wedding and I see my mom for the second time in 5 years. Obviously, it was a very emotional reunion, but we wiped off our tears quickly and sat down for a meal with my husband's family. After I introduced her to everyone, the waiter take our order, and the first thing Sarah says to my mom is, "Your daughter probably already told you, but I won't be drinking this trip." My mom says that is no problem. You don't have to drink to have fun, and that Sarah will still have fun, even if she chooses not to drink. Sarah interrupts my mom to tell her it's not by choice that she's not drinking, but that she's pregnant. Keep in mind, this is 10 minutes after she met my mom. My mom says congratulations and keeps on with another conversation. Sarah interrupts my mom again and tells her how she's 2 weeks pregnant and just so excited. My mom, who is in medicine, then tells Sarah the same thing we did, that she should probably wait until she's in her 2nd trimester to tell people. And Sarah completely ignores her. The same thing happens with my aunts, cousins, uncles, sister, and grandparents, all of whom she had never met before. My husband yet again speaks to his parents and asks them to please tell her to keep it private, because it feels as though she's purposely trying to make the attention away from our wedding. They say they will talk to her. Matt actually comes up to us and apologizes by saying he agrees that it has gotten out of hand and that the number of people that know is way more than the number they agreed upon. Fast forward, we are sitting eating while we wait for one of our excursions. A family that I lived with for 3 when I first moved to my husband's country flew out for the wedding and met up with us for lunch. They have never met my sister-in-law. The wife and I are talking about the wedding and all the arrangements, while my sister-in-law sits across from us and listens to the conversation. My husband orders some shots for everyone at the table when his mom says she doesn't want one, so he tells the server -1. My sister-in-law hears him ordering the shots and goes off yelling across the table. "I can't drink alcohol. You know I can't drink a shot. Why would you order me one?" Everyone kind of stops and looks at her for a sec, before my husband says it's not a problem, as Matt said he wants to. Everyone then continues their conversation, including the wife and I. My sister-in-law interrupts me and continues to make a big fuss over how my husband ordered her alcohol when he knows she's not drinking. The wife then says it's okay because Matt said he'll drink it, so it's not going to waste. My sister-in-law then says again how annoying it is that my husband ordered her a shot, and I say to not worry about, because I'll just drink it if Matt doesn't want it. She keeps doing this till I finally tell the wife that she's not drinking because she's pregnant. The wife says congratulations and asks how far she is, and then also tells her to be careful of telling too many people. The situation happens about 3 more times in the week leading up to the wedding. Now, this is why I might be the a-hole. The last time it happened, she was telling my high school friends at the wedding how sick she has been, but no one asked why she was sick. They were just empathetic and saying they hope she feels better. They came over to me to talk to me, and she followed again complaining about how sick she has been and kind of pushing them to ask why she has been feeling so sick. When I finally said, "Sarah, are you freaking kidding me? No one cares that you're pregnant. They don't even know you." Sarah ran off crying, and my mother-in-law heard me say that and told my father-in-law, who screamed at my husband, saying how we hurt Sarah's feelings and how she's just excited. My husband doesn't think I did anything wrong, and my high school friends think I was fine too, because they know the backstory. My mom and some of my husband's family think I was the a-hole. So am I the a-hole for telling my sister-in-law that no one cares that she's pregnant? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. How many times does she need talked to? She was trying to be a center of attention by her words. If you want to be more petty, every time she walks into a room, just say, "Can I have everyone's attention?" My sister-in-law is pregnant, so let's get that elephant out of the room so she doesn't try to be the main character like she has been. I bet you'll hear a pin drop, and she runs off and cries again. That is brilliant, haha. You should also make bingo cards in how many ways she'll try to tell/remind people she's pregnant. Winner gets a baby-shaped cake. Sarah doesn't sound mature enough to have a child. I'm having a hard time believing there even will be a child. Hey, I had a sister-in-law who had a miscarriage every month. After the 2nd or 3rd one, I forgot which, I said to my mother, "Oh, so she got her period. Big whoops." Seriously, she would call my mother and tell her she was X number of days pregnant, not even weeks. And this was back before home tests, back in the mid-70s. Yeah, I have a sister-in-law like that. She announced her pregnancy at my wedding, was supposedly 4 weeks, and then had a miscarriage about a week later. Although I know that a miscarriage is sad for anyone, it was hard to feel much sympathy in this case, considering she basically just had a period. Now for the update. My husband and I finally had our honeymoon, and we were unreachable during our holiday because we were out of the country. Our whole family knew this before we left, and we told them the only way to reach us in emergency was to call the hotel. We knew Sarah was going in for her appointment while we were away, and we told her we would call her as soon as we got back home. My husband and I was out one day for the whole day from the hotel doing activities. And when we got back, we found a note in our room to say we have to go to reception. Once we got to reception, the person told us we had 7 missed calls from family and gave us a number to call. We didn't know who called or what about, but we thought it was an emergency. We called the number and it was Matt. He was very confused and asked why we were calling him on our honeymoon and asked if we were okay. We said that the hotel said this number called 7 times and asked him if everything was okay. Matt said everything was fine, but Sarah wanted to talk to us. Matt called Sarah over and she asked us how we were having fun, etc. But we just wanted to know what was going on because we were so worried. Sarah said she went to the doctor and got some news. We asked her if everything was okay because she kept not saying anything and we could hear her and Matt whisper to each other. We heard Matt say to her, "Did you seriously call the hotel 7 times to tell them this? It could have waited." Sarah finally gets back on the phone and said that the doctor said she was going to have twins. We said congratulations and asked if there was anything else. We thought it was an emergency. She said no. She just wanted to share the news because she's so excited and scared, and she couldn't hold it in. She said she also called my mom and told her. They are friends in social media. My husband and I both just said we were very happy for them, but really didn't want to be bothered again if it was not an emergency. Sarah said we were being very rude, and she just wanted to share the good news. We hung up because we had to get ready for dinner. When we got back into the US, my in-laws picked us up from the airport and were asking us if we spoke to Sarah. We said yes. She said she was having twins and we were very excited for them. My father-in-law then said Sarah told them we were extremely rude to her and Matt, and we were dismissive and hung up the phone. We told them what really happened, and they said that is not what Sarah's told the whole family. We are now back in our house and haven't spoken to Sarah or Matt. But Matt texted us both, but the text only came through later, where he said he was so sorry that they bothered us on our vacation and it felt horrible. We just texted back and said all good, and that we were very excited for both of them. All I can say about this whole situation is that I am very happy that we live on the other side of the country from Sarah. She sounds exhausting and insufferable. Poor Matt, still unsure how she went from 2 weeks pregnant to finding out she's having twins. The OP is 9 days old, so Sarah's 3 weeks pregnant. I'm calling BS on the twins. An ultrasound won't show any visible activity at 3 weeks, let alone twins. The egg will have only just finished implanting. Either this is some well-written troll bait or Sarah really is trying to steal the limelight. Telling factor would be if Matt went with her to the appointment where she found out about the twins. An OB generally won't even see you until 6 weeks minimum, since that's when you'll start seeing activity on an ultrasound. If it's real, Sarah is a big fan of attention. Did your brother go with her to the doctor? Did he see the ultrasound? For some reason, women who fake pregnancies often claim they're having twins. Now, that isn't a super likely scenario, but this woman sounds pathologically desperate for attention. I probably have watched too many Dr. Phil episodes on women who fake pregnancies, but I'd reverse image search any ultrasound pictures she sends/posts. I think Matt went with yes. When we got back to the US, she sent us a picture of the ultrasound. I'm not a doctor or in the medical field at all, but it looked like 2 babies to me. Reverse image search that ultrasound. Thank you. After I spoke to my mother-in-law, she confirmed that Sarah miscalculated how far along she was, and that she is actually closer to 8 to 9 weeks now. She had her first ultrasound at her doctor and then said she was having twins and she sent me the picture. I still wonder if she's actually pregnant or if we're going to see some Lifetime story about Matt and Sarah, because this is beyond strange.